Thanks for staying with us. So it's Thursday, and joining this gist day is our dear friend, broadcaster, presenter of Foodies and Spice, the beautiful Gina Ehiko-Diojo. Welcome to the show. How have you been?
I'm fine, I'm doing great.
Hi, it's Foodies and Spice.
Foodies and Spice. Oh.
How is it? Doing well?
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
So today, we saw this gist on social media. This man, right, was complaining because his wife got a car from her brother. Now, this is the situation. You want a car as a wife. Your husband, for whatever reason, cannot afford the car. And then you're using your leg up and down Lagos State. And you have a brother who is well-to-do, who can hook you up with a car. The question is, should you collect? That's one. Number two, you want to travel to the abroad for summer holidays. You know, your kids, all your friends are children are traveling every year. And you can't afford, your husband, based on his budget, he cannot afford to carry children to ordinary Ghana because you guys are still building. And you're not mad at that. You know, you understand, you're on the same pace. Don't worry. But you have an older brother who is saying, my children are going. Let me get visa for your children. Let us all go there for the summer holiday. And husband says, no. The question is, as a woman, should you accept this gift from your brother? Or should you say, no, just like my husband, and stand with your husband? That's the question for today. You can call us on let me find the number, 081-270-53687. You can also call us on 091-390-76948. You can send us messages on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be happy to read the messages. So who wants to go first?
Let's put it in.
Nima.
Let's put it in compartments.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your husband cannot afford to buy you a car, but you have the ability to, you have the job, you have the means, no need to reject a car gift. So that your brother that buy car will not be the one to maintain it forever. And you don't want a car maintenance to become an issue if you're a dependent of your husband. So
you accept a gift from your husband,
yes,
brother?
Because I have a job, I can afford the car, I can service
Okay, so you have to make, you're saying make sure you can maintain your car yourself. But no, don't give me a car, I can't maintain, I have to keep going back to my brother for maintenance.
Don't fight infertility. If your brother will not be maintaining the car forever, maybe your husband is making sense.
Okay.
Now, for the vacation thing, if they did not ask your husband money for any of the costs, including travel insurance, why can't you travel?
So,
okay, let me come to
I sort of don't. We need to be sensitive to a man's ego. When a man's wiring in Africa, a man's wiring in Nigeria is to be a provider. That's the way they've been brought up. That's what makes them feel manly. When they can't provide, it affects them. So when you are dealing with a man who would love to provide, not the irresponsible ones, the ones that really would love to provide, who are providing but cannot do the glam, and then a family member of the woman is bringing glam, and the man's ego would reject it. It might not be realistic. A woman might not like it, but I think that you and your husband have become a team, and the goal should be, I need to protect my husband. Yoruba proverb says, if you sell your family cheap, you can't buy them back. So if you now say, oh, my husband cannot afford the car, you now collect car, then the other day your brother now comes and says, who is this? We don't want you in our house or something. If it respects your husband, you are the one that sold your husband cheap to the family member. So I think that it's important that we have the conversation. Now, I've had situations where I would feel like, oh, Mr. Mark, let's go to this place. You say, like, so you will just go, will not spend any money. Like, even if they say we should come for free. I remember last Christmas we were at Landmark. My husband felt really uncomfortable that we must carry something. We can't go empty-handed to, even if they say we're sponsoring everything for you. You, as a responsible man, will feel uncomfortable not contributing in any way to that vacation. And so, to protect the man's ego, I think that you might accept to go with the
stay, don't know summer.
Just do what you can afford, what you as a family can afford.
Let me come to you, Gina. Let me come to BC first.
Okay, so I think people should learn to relax and live the soft life. If things are difficult and you have somebody who is willing to make it easier for you, why don't you just relax and enjoy it? It's not, everything is not ego. We're not going to heaven or hell with this ego. Calm down. What I would expect is, I know that sometimes when you have a family member that's well-to-do and they want to surprise you with something, what they do is they liaise with the husband. Hey, I want to get something for my sister. What do you think? my sister would like. They now plan it and surprise the woman. Do you understand? But maybe they do not have a relationship. Maybe they are not close or something has happened. Or sometimes you're married to a family and they don't like you. Maybe that's the case. That's why he just went ahead and bought the car. But the woman should find a way, like Nima said, if she can maintain the car, find a way to convince the husband that is my brother now. Me, as I am sitting down here, I'm praying that I have brothers that will buy me something.
I'm praying for my
brothers that will send me something. Brothers that will make my life easy. Do I have to be the only one hustling everything?
Okay, let me come to Gina. Gina, what are your thoughts on this?
It seems like she just took the thoughts of me. Why do you need to suffer? You don't need it. Now, if a husband or a brother decides to give me a car, I will gladly accept it. And I expect my husband to accept it. If he cannot afford it, two of us are supposed to cruise the car. You understand? That means we will not jump bus anymore. We won't do Uber anymore. Our life is there, and we just go and say, uncle or brother, thank you very much. It's not supposed to be hard.
God sent.
Going by this man, whether we like it or not, the ego is there. And I hear you. You can't carry ego to heaven. But for the sanity of your marriage, for the peace of mind of your marriage, I mean, before I met my husband, I used to travel every year. I tell everybody, every year, today I'm going to London, I'm going to Dubai, I'm carrying my booty. But when I got back, the two things I love the most, he said, auntie, calm down, we can't afford it. Travel, we can't do. Going out every 2 weeks to go and do dinner in one restaurant, we can't do it. I stopped it. Now, I had to stop it because I understood that we are not financially there yet. But if I have a brother who now says, I'm sending you tickets, wouldn't that look as disrespect to the decision myself and my husband have made? Okay, Morale, let us take it easy. Let's not go down. Just calm down.
Flesh and blood will not reveal this to you.
Will I not be disrespecting my husband's decision that way? Calm down. Don't go yet until we can afford it. Then you can travel.
That's what they say, komoju komora. That means you don't know face, you don't know body.
If we try to flip it,
yes.
If it was the husband's family that decides that we want to give our brother a car,
he supports his ego. He beats up his ego as a man, as a provider.
Can I, as a woman, now say,
don't take that car, we can't afford it.
We don't even need it. Take it back.
No, now.
So we understand male ego. Yes. We totally do. But I think at this point, 2021,
they should watch that ego.
We should understand this economy that we are in. When everybody things come to you,
because accept it.
Accept it.
My brother,
it's the gift from the Lord.
So, okay, I'll go on a break. If the gift comes, right, and you take it, but disrespect follows it.
Which one?
Would you like it? Stay with us.
You see future.
We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing the male ego here, and we're talking about if you accept this help from family, doesn't it get accompanied with disrespect for your husband? Let me take this call from Philip, then I'll come to the ladies. Hello, Philip, are you there? Hello, Philip, you're live. Hello? I think he's listening to the TV.
Yes.
I always feel like when we have conversations regarding somebody helping you, I believe that in life, there will always, God will send somebody to you. It's a human being that God will use to help you. But when it comes to families, there's always this, what Yoruba call iregun. I don't know how to say it in Siregun, how to say it in English. Like, someone would call out the good I've done for you. Oh, that's your first car. Is it not me that bought it for you? Oh, that's your first trip abroad. It was me that did it for you. This your something is me that did it for you. I feel that you need to protect the respect of your husband. And because you understand, if your brother really wants to help, if a woman is in a place where a brother really wants to help, she should find a way to ensure that the help comes to the family without it coming from the label of, this is the person that my brother helped us to do this thing. My brother, I won a competition. My office gave me this.
She should lie.
It's not, no, it's wisdom. So you find a way to ensure that the help. No, because what I realize is that because you need to support, in most cases, and I'm sure the men will call into the show and let you understand, because there are several stories of how this thing plays out in other ways where you have received help from someone then they backlash you with that same comment.
Let me come to Gina, then I'll come to you.
Yeah, I think the best thing that should happen to any marriage is total honesty.
Okay.
Don't mask anything. My brother gave me this thing. My brother gave it to me. Now, if we cannot sit and discuss and agree on why I should take it, which I'll be very, very vexed.
If you don't take it.
If we don't take it and we don't have it. Because what's the ego for really? That's where we started from. What is it for? We cannot be suffering when we have seen a solution.
But the question is the only one man that have ego?
Women too, we have.
I don't understand.
Women have ego. So I don't know why the male own has to be the one that should be revered or sacrificed.
So when it looks at it, let me paint this picture, Nima. This man doesn't have the money. You married him because he is just struggling, and you trust that he would get there one day. Why you as your wife, can't you be patient to work with him at his own pace and work together? Why must you fast track it by bringing wealth from your father's house to come and disrupt what is growing in your own house? That's the question. Yes.
Me, I'm a Muslim woman.
Yes.
We bring wealth from our father's house to make our houses comfortable. They escort you with your wardrobe,
with things now,
with your things to your husband's house. So that you married a man, you must live within his means, no doubt.
Yeah.
But you must not now force hardship. It's even wrong in my religion to force hardship on a wife that you married from means because you are not within that means. If the means is not causing you any hardship, if the family is willing to maintain the status of their family for their daughter, your own is to enjoy it.
Okay, so let me now help you go further. Wait, Nima. So finally, we've accepted, collect the gift. Okay? Your wife now has a car from her brother. Now, the disrespect now comes in, where brother comes in and says, "After your first car was not of me. What's your problem? Why are you talking to me like that?" What happens in that kind of situation?
So let me help you here. I like to handle issues as they come. I don't sit down and start imagining the issue, preempting the issue before it comes. If it now gets to a point where you disrespect my husband, I will stand up as a woman. Uncle, is it because you gave me car? Come and carry. You don't talk to my husband like that. And I would even expect that you, as a family member, you know that I honor my husband. Because what I do is to present him in a very good light. Even if we don't have money, it doesn't matter. Money will come. If you want to support it, I will accept it. But if that support comes with disrespect, take your thing back. We will make our own. But may I also say that because you have married a woman does not mean you should separate her from her family. It's blood, though. It's not another man that is giving your wife a car. It's her blood. Her blood. If we were all rich at the same level and you gift a car, do you think this would be a problem? It will not be a problem. Now we'll be doing competition of gifts. I give you Range Rover this year, you give me Lexus next year. Is it because of
Godwin, are you there?
Yes.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is my first time calling.
Welcome to the show.
In fact, I like your conversations. But one thing I want to say, this thing is not about ego. What the man is seeing might not be the same thing that the woman is looking at it in that way. A good example, supposing you that feel like you want to travel, and your husband said, no, don't go, because it has happened, such incident has happened. And when you go there with your children, so one of them falls sick and dies. How then will you explain it to your husband? Because in the first case, your husband said, don't go. Now you are coming back in that situation. How do you manage it? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I wanted to talk about preempting disrespect.
Yes.
If there has never been in your attitude or in interactions with your spouse, from your family, and any form of disrespect, why does your husband feel that way? You know, an insecure person is different from disrespect.
All of them join,
So now, somebody who already thinks that it is even a disrespect that they are offering you a car, that's the problem. It's because they're offering you a car out of his insecurity, he feels disrespespected. That how dare you offer a car? He doesn't understand.
Nima, this disrespect is not verbal. It's not even the man doesn't. The brother doesn't have to say anything. Wait. So the brother doesn't have to say jack. Family doesn't have to say anything. But the fact that you are in a gathering and all of you are together, and you know, like, the car we brought here was bought by my wife's husband.
Is it also disrespect? Is it also disrespect? If your brother starts a business for your husband, or gets him a job.
If you teach how to fish or you get a job is a different thing because you
No,
respect
it's what people will say that you're afraid of. People will still talk.
Hold on. You respect that this person has skills or the person has value to bring to the table.
Okay.
What I'm
That
talking
one
about
is
is imagine all of you go for vacation together and then everybody is speaking. They're trying to shop. You cannot shop because it's not you that came to the vacation.
We don't have it. I cannot shop.
We cannot take away ego and emotions from life. It's not rational. You cannot subject it into this is how the person should behave. Why are they behaving like this? Many times we don't like it, but we must understand that it is there. It's like saying the identity of self, and we should respect it. Now, if you want to protect your marriage, I always feel, find a way to, if you cannot find a way to compromise with your spouse, listen to him and protect him. It's not that you should not start feeling bad or feeling embittered because your husband did not allow you to travel. I could have traveled around the world. No, we are taking this for the team. We will get to this point over time.
Okay, let me come to Gina.
Yes, I think maybe we should now come to our personal, ourselves now, both male, female. Work on yourself.
Thank you.
How do you perceive things or accept things that are thrown at you? When someone tells me, oh, Gina, I bought you your first car. Oh, thank you. No, be you first, they do one. You do well, oh, God bless you.
But Gina, you and I know that not all husbands are like that. We know, listen, let us be really ill. There are some men that that thing will affect them. Yes, you are right. There's a way you can work over it.
That's what I just said. He should work on himself.
Because can work on themselves.
It's not only my brother that will be his problem in life.
Yes.
There are so many people outside. Your boss, everybody. You understand? Then we have a lot of people who wants to bring his life. Everybody wants to work and bring you down. So you work on yourself.
Honor, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Mariah. First and foremost, I'd like to say that Yoruba calls something arishing. Some of these things used to cause arishing.
Yes.
You know, but then you would know a family member who will give you arishing.
You would know.
Family members who would insult you later on with what they have given.
Yes.
And they are all, and you know those ones. Those are the type to avoid. Now, as a man who has ego, if your in-law wants to take your wife, which is his sister, and your children abroad, or even if the invitation is for the entire family, including you, the best you can do is say, I know the go. Do you understand? You just keep your ego in check. But that's his sister, and those are your kids. It's a thing of pride for me to say, oh, my kids went abroad for summer. Let them go and enjoy. Do you think those children would be happy with you if they miss that thing because of their ego?
I know that's right.
For the car thing, you know,
I've seen
men who their wives have been given cars by their siblings. The worst they do is that the man never ever drives that car. That doesn't mean you will stop the gift from coming. It's a gift from her brother. And like somebody said just now, if the coin was flipped, the other way, and it's the man's family that is giving him a car, will the wife have the guts to reject it?
That's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Let's go to the wealthy and how they do things. Because some of this ego thing is poverty that causes it. Honestly. Because when you are marrying into a certain family and the father-in-law decides to, for your wedding gifts the daughter a car, gives you people a house in somewhere like Banana Island, would you be saying ego? You will not collect it. Or you tell the father you will not marry her again because you not take her to Mushi.
Have I not told you about the wedding on that day?
Yes,
where the girl don't want to go in Nupeju. The girl has a house in what's it BGC?
No, that's the girl's house. The father decides to give. That's my wedding gift for my daughter. I'm giving you people a house. I'm giving you people a car. What would you do in that case? I think we put a lot of responsibility on the women. Now we go marry. Now we go cook. Now we go still manage ego. Now make it easy for us. So hold on. As you are raising your boys, let them understand that help can come from anywhere. Be open. You know you're hardworking, except you're lazy. You know you're hardworking. You know you will not beg. But if help comes, don't reject it.
What about Arifi?
Hold on. Hold on. I've said this thing before. I remember when we started life. I was married into my father-in-law's house because he did not want to buy. There was no money to buy a house or money to build at the time. We're just starting. And some people were like, why will you be married into your father-in-law's house? It doesn't make sense. Luckily for me, the school where I was teaching gave me an apartment. And we were squatting there. We swallow ego. ego no, they buy bread. So we're able to plan ourselves, and it became better. So if you understand who you are, you know we had a goal. But imagine at that time, somebody said, let me give you a house. I will now sit down and say, instead of squatting,
the thing is, people don't want to own their truth.
You should calm down, I beg.
Own your truth. You live in a one-room apartment. You go out, somebody now says, hey, you that you want. Why is they shame? It's your truth.
It's your truth.
Now my one-room apartment. Now body go wear cloth. Cloth no go wear body. Now the body cloth they wear. You go own them. Yeah, okay, yeah, your car is, that's my car.
Yes, sir.
I not borrow now be shame. Thief now be shame. You own your realities, your own truth.
Yeah.
If you travel on that vacation and you cannot shop, but you go vacation.
Yes, so you go on a break.
Let me go on a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this issue of accepting gifts from family, especially in marriage. So let me come to Tokwe.
Yes, so I was talking about ideal situation where you have married someone, you can have that conversation with. Some people are good people, but they have ego. And you've married them. They have other good points around them. So you're trying to deal with this situation. While people are watching, you have to manage the situation. You're not going to say, because my husband has ego, I will throw away all the other good things that come with him. You will find a way to manage. This is I've married a man that has ego. He's a wonderful father. He's providing to the best of his capacity. Will live within what he can afford for now, and I will support him till he can afford more. One. Number two, if the husband had a very good relationship with the brother, there probably would be no bone of contention, because it would have been a conversation the man would have had, the brother would have had, that I want to buy my sister something. No. The reason there might be bone of contention might be because there isn't a good relationship within the first place. I also believe that many times we cast our own expectations of what should be ideal on other people. And it helps to understand everybody is coming from their life experiences. You have no idea what your husband has seen that is making him react the way he is.
Okay, so
listen.
So what I'm hearing Toke say is that we're all different. We have different kind of spouses. Yeah. So your spouse might be the kind of that who's liberal, maybe really has a good relationship, doesn't matter. But if you have a spouse whose ego is way high and he has issues with that, understand the husband you have. Don't go and accept gifts from your brother. Don't say because he's not helping us from this property. Don't go and jump into it because you're going to cause problems for your home. That's
I will drag my husband to therapy.
That's the solution. That's good.
Therapy to go and learn.
We need to work on that.
Okay, I'll take a call now. I'll come to you, Gina. I think it's Victor, I believe I have. Good morning, Victor. Are you there?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Hi, this is actually my first time calling.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. All the points you guys have basically raised this morning are all valid points. But there's one thing I want us to also pay attention to. What is the story question? What is the relationship between the husband and the family of the wife? Because I feel if they have a good relationship and the man doesn't feel spited by the gifts, then this thing shouldn't come up. Like the caller said last time, if the gift and the wife should not be a problem. But if the husband sees that gift,
it's breaking, Victor. I can't hear you. I'm so sorry. I couldn't hear it.
Do we have time for a few messages?
Yes. So, my question now is, if my brother decides to buy me a dress or a slippers, if he stays abroad and send to me, does it need to get permission?
No, my husband can afford that now. I can afford. It's not a big deal. Because I can afford the vacation.
Okay, because it's a car. That means I'm not good for big things. It's only small things.
Why is it
small things like
you're making it personal.
It's true.
The point is that I can afford the dress, but I can't afford the car. So why don't you wait for me to afford the car?
So
and I buy you
that I can afford
that you should get. Wait until your husband can also be buying you.
We are all aiming high in life. At this point, we cannot get it. Now, someone who can help me just get that thing that we can manage. See, my brothers, in case people are listening, I deserve a car.
This is the same ego that makes a man say the wife cannot earn more than them. It's the same ego
Yes.
that makes a man say that the wife cannot, go on trips because he cannot afford it. It's the same ego that makes a man start envying things that happen around the wife's family. It's the same ego. It's the same
At the worst case
So
of
the ego
school.
is the problem.
At the worst case of
Exactly.
school, you live in Badagry or somewhere where the school is not so good, and you insist on that substandard school where your wife and her job can afford to give your children
Good school for the
best.
children. It's the same ego.
I'm not looking at
The root cause is insecurity, which needs to be dealt with because it will, like she said, it will go on other cases. The boss tomorrow cannot give you a gift. Any other person cannot do something your husband cannot do. There's a message here I saw. I don't know if I can quickly, but I just read it. Yes. So, and he said he bought the sister a chair because their chair was bad, and the husband got upset and was sitting on the floor for like 1 week.
So I like the
we need therapy.
I like the last point you made because that's the real crux of the problem.
Insecurity.
So yes, you have that issue of insecurity that you don't want your wife to collect this gift, but the real issue is that you're insecure about a lot of other things. So how you do one thing, how you do other things. So
find out.
they have to now find a way to step back and say, what else am I being insecure? What else am I being insecure about?
But the
Because that's
solution
fix.
will not come from you trying to collect. The solution will come from you understanding and seeking how to get someone who the spouse, who your husband respects, to intervene and have that conversation to boost his ego, help him understand that this is a reaction from insecurity. Not because sometimes when we give advice, it will be like we're breeding rebellion. Oh, how can you say that man is a wicked man? Somebody that has been managing himself and starts looking at the husband like, my husband is a wicked person. Well, the husband is probably dealing with his own insecurities that he needs to work with. Every man with a kettle. All of us, man and woman, get it done when they manage. So the point is, all of us are on a journey of growth, and we must always encourage one another towards growth.
So if you have a husband like that, so let's say if you have a husband like that, don't go and say, let's collect the gift. Know that that's where he is right now. Work on him, find people who can support him to the point where he'll get to that level.
Gift, you go miss gift first. See you language.
Language. You can't collect the gift.
Wait,
if you have that kind of husband,
one cannot they do convoy you. Family is bond.
Thank you, Nima.
You divide them, you people will fall. Let's wait.
Everybody.
As you marry me now, you know me family with my brother. Wait, let me explain what I'm saying.
Immediate family.
If your language to your husband is, oh, my brother loves me, I have been the Ada of my family, I've done so much for my family, and they decided to reward me in my time of need. Showing your family, showing your husband that your own family where you are from, you people help each other. The husband cannot say that because you have married me now, help from your family to you is cancelled, can go to other people. No, now. You understand? Language is everything.
Okay, so it's how you communicate it also to your spouse. Okay, well,
my family, all of them are driving big cars. They don't say that, wow, it's only you coming to family meeting on your foot. If I can afford it, I'll buy my family members who don't have cars. So that all of us are on the same level. One husband cannot reject the car. But we need to do convoy.
Okay, all right. On that note, thank you. I think we can wrap up on this. So take the one that resonates with you. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll move on to another topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.